We have the pleasure of having Vashti Mims, acrylic oil painter, a local artist from Colorado Springs. We saw some of her amazing paintings last week and heard her stories and talking about issues, especially mental health issues that were very important to her.
I think she offers a lot for people to hear and understand. One, it's okay, and two, that you should talk about it and seek help and seek processes that help you grow.
Absolutely, and we're excited to see some of her other work. I was really impressed. She has her paintings. She's had prints made that are available on Etsy, and some of the ones we looked at from last week I just thought were so outstanding. So I'm really excited to hear from her again this week. Welcome to the third chair. We have Vashti Mims with us, extraordinarily talented acrylic painter, and what's the word? Blossoming entrepreneur. You're doing some really great things, and you've told us some of your ideas and plans. They sound fantastic. So I want you to imagine for a minute that you are a coach.
Okay.
And a young artist comes to you and says, how do I deal with the following issues? And you just tell us what advice you'd give. All right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Are we doing Coach Vashti?
We're doing Coach Vashti.
Give me your best coach pose. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
There you
Yeah,
go.
oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Fantastic.
So remember, Peter, every question say, ask Coach Vashti. But you got to get the name
No.
right.
Our viewers want to know from Coach Vashti. Ask Coach Vashti. Question number one from our viewer in Cincinnati. No. Okay. You obviously can come home after a long, hard day at work. How do you generate mental energy to create?
Sometimes I will listen to things that I love.
Like what?
So like music maybe, or watch a show. Just something that's putting me in a good headspace.
So what kind of music puts
Oh,
Vashti in a
see,
good...
I love music.
Sure. I mean, do you have a favorite?
I like oldies.
Oldies?
Like classics, yeah.
Like classic rock and roll, or
Yeah.
even farther back?
Yeah.
You know,
That,
I mean, it's so strange. Like I could, in one sense, picture you putting on some Pink Floyd and listening to The Dark Side of the Moon. And it's like, oh wow, or something really upbeat, rock and rollish.
yeah. I love all music. I like thrive when I paint listening to music. So sometimes I'll literally just listen to music, watch a TV show, something that will put me in a good headspace to create.
Do you like comedies? What kind of TV show?
My favorite TV show is Seinfeld. People keep saying that they don't like it, but I think Seinfeld is so funny.
The writing was quite genius, and at times people criticized the very last episode, I think, the most, but
That's
overall,
fair.
I mean, it had a 10-year run or so.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't go wrong with Kramer.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He's hilarious. Yeah, very good.
My
Very
favorite
good.
is George, though. George is my favorite. He's so angry in the best way.
Yeah. If I'm gonna laugh at a show, I always enjoyed MASH the most.
Oh, okay.
Coach Vashti,
Okay.
I have a lot of negative thoughts that bring me down. How should I deal with them?
Negative thoughts that bring you down. Well, I'm still trying to navigate that as well. I'd say when it comes to creating, using those feelings to create art. Like sometimes you would be surprised what those feelings could do for your art. There's been paintings that I've done where I felt awful, and what I made through that is beautiful. So I feel like just channeling those thoughts, even if they're bad, channeling that to make something very
Nice.
beneficial.
Nice. Yeah, I know some of the classical painters really struggled with depression and still put out amazing work.
Yeah,
Yeah, sort of embracing it.
exactly.
Embracing the suck.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, okay. And we may have spoken with this briefly last week. Coach Vashti, how do I deal with creative blocks? I'm just staring at this canvas and it's staring right back. And nothing's happening.
I would definitely say change of scenery is very beneficial, at least for me personally. Sometimes I'm too close to it, literally too close to the canvas, and I feel like stepping back, maybe working on something else, and working on that flow for a while sometimes refreshes my mind to go back to that.
So if one painting's like a happy painting and it's just not working, but you've got like an angry painting, then maybe go work on the angry painting for a little while.
Exactly.
Until you're tired of being angry, then I'm ready to be happy again.
Exactly. Literally that. I have so many work in progress because I work like that, where I'll be working on something and I can't tell what I want to do next, so I'll just go to something else.
How many different unfinished projects do you have at once?
Don't ask me that.
I mean, do you think you have more than 20?
Oh, probably not that many. Probably like 10 for sure.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that quite common. Artists will say that. Now, you don't have writers like having 10 different novels on the go at once, but I find that painters often do.
Yeah.
And if we count the things that are in your head that you're thinking about,
I know.
that could be infinite.
Yes, it is.
Coach Vashti.
Tie.
I want to say T. Tie me down. Tie. Sometimes I don't finish artwork because I think people won't like it. What should I do?
I think you should create art for yourself and not for others to see. I feel like that is where I struggle with sometimes because I know I need things to post. So I make art because I feel like people want to see it, but I need to just make art for me, and then if I want to share it with others, then I can.
Sure.
I feel like that is where
So I make art for me, then I post it to my 100,000 Instagram followers.
Literally,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Coach Vashti for me. Then Vashti.
And we know you did that on purpose.
No, I'm just tired. Coach Vashti. Do you fear success?
I do.
Tie.
What I want to achieve, I don't know anybody who has. I feel like that kind of puts a barrier in like what I feel like I can achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, if I don't get there, then it's like, well, nobody that you've seen has gotten there, so like it's okay. Because I'm scared of like what happens when I get there, if I lose it all, or what happens. Like I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts when it comes to there. Then it's
Like it's, and we were talking about this in our pre-production meeting or over dinner. The idea that sometimes success can lead you down a path of creating art that may not be your favorite. You know, if there's one or two styles that sell like crazy, you make the money, but then do you abandon your heart and your passion and soul in terms of what direction you want to go?
yeah.
Yeah, I think success can be really tricky.
Yeah.
I think another what a friend of ours once said.
Abandon your heart.
The dog chasing the mail truck. What does he actually do if he catches it? He gets his success, but what does the dog do then?
Yeah. Exactly.
So, next question. A lot of artists who...
Is this a question for Coach Vashti?
yes.
Question for Coach.
The question is, and it's a deep question.
Okay.
There are many artists that from chronic pain, depression, mental health issues. What advice would you give in mental health, trying to create through that fog or mental noise or distraction?
Um, I would say, again, like I've said before, like I feel like creating for yourself is the most important thing. Because even on the days where I don't feel creative, I will literally just paint the canvas or just gesso the canvas. But just like the fact that I'm showing up for myself at all in any capacity is a win. I didn't create really anything, but I still showed up to do something for myself. And I feel like trying to just get to the canvas or whatever medium you're doing is a win. Big or small, like it doesn't matter.
Nice, nice. And when we come back from this break, we're going to start out with the question of sometimes family, teachers, church people, friends tell us at a young age our art sucks. And those messages linger into the future. What advice would you give for dealing with sort of negative messages from the past? When we come right back. Okay. Welcome back to the third chair. I'm Peter. We're here with our special guest, Vashti.
While Peter's dying of laughter for his own joke, watch a little bit of our in-between segment. When I come to the room and, there's the
Yeah, Doug.
She's like, there
Doug's
it is.
the thing, yeah. What segment is this?
7.
Vashti, segment 7.
That was dramatic. That's the one.
That's good. Yeah, I'm trying to give him some outtakes, like bloopers and stuff
He's
too.
gotta have some material.
Yeah, the thing is, he doesn't have to try very hard when
I'm still looking for one word.
timer.
Action.
I'm watching this helpful picture of a penguin. Oh, that was so funny. Doug I did a little thing where he took the baby Jesus out of the manger in a Christmas nativity scene and replaced it with a penguin. It's like, I don't know where Jesus has gone, but enjoyed this penguin. Yeah, so on a serious note, if it's possible, harmful messages from the past, people we may have looked up to, idolized, said they loved
Wait,
us.
is this a
Coach Vashti?
question?
This is a Coach Vashti question.
I would say my first gallery experience was like that, where I felt like because I was so new, I didn't have any background in art, but in order to get into the gallery, he wanted me to change some things about one of my pieces. And I really considered it because I had never been into a gallery, so I thought like, oh, this is normal, like I have to change this to get in the gallery. But then it's like, this is my art, like if I have to change it to get in the gallery, do I want to get into this gallery? I don't want to change my art for other people. I want them to appreciate it for what it is. So I feel like, I feel like that has been a big thing where I'm trying to, like, advice is important, and I feel like having, bouncing ideas off of people is important, but at the end of the day, it's your art, and you need to be, like, true to yourself. Sure.
Yeah, I just know, sort of the idea of, if we're told we're going to be a failure all our life, it's really hard sometimes to break that kind of thinking, just because it's like been passively dropped in our brains, and then during bad moments we might have regurgitated it round and round and thought about it. Yeah.
Like, am I not good enough? Or
Yeah, for sure. So, did you go to how'd you learn art? I know you did some college. Did you go to like to Juliet or?
I wish, right? No, I did take a couple drawing classes. So when I was in high school, I was doing my junior, senior, and college courses all in 1 year.
Oh, nice.
So I took classes at PPCC while I was in high school, and I
Oh,
took
was
art
that the
classes.
early college program?
Yeah.
You did? Yeah. I had some friends that did that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I did that, and I took some art classes, and I learned a lot about like fundamentals that I still use to this day. And then when I went to college, I went to UCS, and that's when I took like art history classes and things like that. But it was only a couple classes, but past that I learned everything else on my own.
Yeah. Well, it seems like the internet is a fountain of opportunities.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you could almost find out anything on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube University never fails.
I remember one time I was watching a video and learning to change the spark plugs in my car, but I was nervous when I turned that.
I was gonna.
Yeah, I was like, it's gonna blow up. Yeah, it didn't, but yeah, you can sure learn a lot with that. And with respect to hobbies, do you have time to because you mentioned you're a single mom, and you work a regular job, and you spend a good bit of your time painting or sketching, and the whole process. Do you have time for other kind of fun hobbies?
Yes, I feel like sometimes I do take a break from painting. Like, it's good for my mental health too to take a break from things that you love. You don't have to do it all the time. And so on the days where I don't feel like painting is usually when I take the opportunity to do something else.
Like, if given the opportunity, would you like to drive a really fast car, like a NASCAR or some kind of like really souped up car? Is that something that would be a fun hobby for you?
I mean, maybe not a hobby. Maybe doing it once would be fun. But I do like maybe going out in nature or something like that. Like, I love to be out in the woods. Sometimes I'll even take my painting out to the woods.
Sure,
That could be
yeah. A lot
good
of
thing.
painters seem to really enjoy that part, especially if it's quiet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
It's
and
beautiful.
perhaps if the kids are with somebody else.
I mean, I've also taken my kids to do it, and we've all
Sure.
gone to the woods and painted, and that was fun.
Do you encourage your kids to paint as well?
I do. Me and my daughter, actually, the other day, we both did a drawing lesson. So I taught her how to draw a realistic eye, and then she taught me how she draws her cartoon eyes.
Oh wow!
So she walked me through how she does it, so I had to follow her instructions.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, our producer, he draws out pictures for the scenes of things we film, and I look at it and I'm like, I have no idea.
They are majestic stick figures.
They are stick figures that, for all I know, he could be writing Indian Sanskrit or something. Yeah, but they're much better than his handwriting. Let's put it that way. Do you?
We are filming a film, next year, and you're in it, and I may alter the scenes just a
Yeah,
little.
I expect bad things to happen to me. What about, do you get around to reading books? Do you have, do you spend time, with technical books? How to blend your colors in 10 easy steps, or do you have time for fun stuff?
I do have some books like that where it's very technical, like how to draw basically is what they are. I want to get my drawing better. I feel like that's important, and I don't feel like my drawing is as good as it could be. So I do take out those books a lot and look at those, or I have a book of just like classic paintings because I am so inspired by classic art. It's beautiful. The like loose brush strokes especially is what I admire the most about that. So I do have those types of books.
Do you ever like read something fun like The Hunger Games or Moby Dick?
I have books. I literally just bought a couple of books too. I haven't read them yet, but I have them
Nice.
for when I can read
That's
them.
one step closer.
Exactly.
That's
I
one
have
step
them.
closer. Yeah, we need good bookends. Yeah. Well, good. So, or do you like to listen to audiobooks? Does that fit your schedule a little easier?
I haven't. I do listen to podcasts, especially
yeah.
while I'm painting, or even if I'm at work, I listen to podcasts. But I haven't really listened to audiobooks. No.
Sure. And you mentioned you go to the gym. You're pumping iron. You're
Yes.
talking smack with the guys.
You know, we've had women beat Peter up on the show before. We did a special segment.
Yeah, that's it. You know, and this sort of goes along with some of the other questions. You do art for yourself, but do you ever like set a goal? Like I know publicly on Instagram you said I'm one of my goals, and I'm paraphrasing, is to paint something every day. Do you set like I want to do 12 new pieces in a year, or goals like that? 1 new piece a month, 2 new pieces a month. Do you put numerical goals like that on yourself?
I used to, and I feel like that actually was hindering my anxiety because I felt like if I didn't achieve the goal, like I was a failure, which I never want to feel. I don't like feeling like a failure, so I stopped doing that, and I just kind of go off just painting and being creative every day. And like sometimes I'll try to do it for 5 minutes because I know like once I get into it, hours will go by. So
Sure. If you feel like you're dogging it, does like one of your kids come up and say, "Come on, Mom, pick up the slack. You're not filling that canvas fast enough."
No, but my kids are very judgmental of my pieces. They'll come over and they're like, "That looks bad," and I'm like, "Oh."
Eat your piece, kid. Yeah.
Extra spinach for you.
Extra spinach for you.
Yeah, they come over. They're not nice. Sometimes they are. For the most part, they're like, "That's beautiful," but sometimes they'll tell me how they feel.
Yeah, tell you how you feel. Yeah, you get the vegan cashew cheese. Yeah.
Exactly. Their favorite.
Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about something. Yeah. Hi, Peter and Doug here from The Third Chair. We're looking for a win-win situation. We want to keep these videos put up on a weekly basis, and we want to help you succeed with your business adventure.
And we've brought up as a show a lot of important issues that people are interested in, and we brought up a lot of local actors and artists and bringing them forward, which helps them as well as our audience members in finding some of these things.
So there is an email on the screen. Send us a note if you're interested in knowing about some of our sponsorship packages. Welcome back to The Third Chair. I'm Peter. We're here with our special guest, Vashti.
And yes, you got it right on the transition.
Right on that. And when I said we're going to get back, we were going to talk about something. Oh, yeah. So that was brutal. When your kids come up and say, I don't, this color's not right, or how you did that line, or how you filled this.
I tried to do a portrait of them. This was in my early painting days, so it wasn't good, obviously. But still, I tried to do a portrait of them, and they were like so grossed out by it. I was just like, okay, I won't be doing that again.
I am not feeling the love, kids.
Yeah, right? Do it just because I love you, but just kidding.
Yeah, oh man. So are your kids old enough to they're past the age where beginning to get some fine motor skills and can do detailed work. It sounds like your daughter did some cool stuff with some eyes, and so.
Yeah, my daughter, especially, she's 7. My son is 5. So, I mean, he's starting to now, like, start to draw and really be into it. Like, even last week, we were having a family drawing session, and he was drawing his little clouds, and he was drawing water, and then he started doing all these squigglies, and I was like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm drawing the waves. And I was like, look at you adding details. I love that. Like, it was so sweet to see that.
Yeah, now, have you ever had the experience with your kids where you say, son or daughter, if you try holding your brush this way and maybe try this way, you might get a different result, only for them to say, it's my art, Mom.
Yes. Yes, my daughter, she is exactly like that. I will try to give her pointers, and she's like, no, this is the way that I want to do it, which I'm like, okay.
I grew up playing ice hockey in Canada, and I had my son play competitive hockey, and it was amazing. I had to pay like an 18-year-old hockey player to say the exact same thing that I was saying for years. This is how you do a slap shot or a wrist shot. And after you have a private lesson, he says, Dad, how come you never told me this? It's like I've told you this for years. It had to be someone else.
Yep.
Sometimes with our kids, I think it has to be someone else.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they're willing to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a good thing.
So what's the next big step for you in the evolution process of an artist? Do you think about where you want to go next with techniques, or is the business side the next big push? Where do you see the next big thing happening in your life?
My main thing is I want to do a solo show. I've never done a solo show before, and I don't have enough pieces right now to do a solo show. So it's pretty much just working on that.
So how many pieces in your mind would be like the minimum for, say, a smaller venue for a solo show?
I would like to have 10.
10.
Yeah. 10
That's nice.
pieces that are like solid works that are like together. Separate but together.
Theme related, or
Yeah. I would like to do that. I've heard of people like renting out spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to rent out a space and like advertise for it, have people come out and support me. So
that sounds really cool. Maybe you could do it also with the food truck there. You have a special. Like for $30 you get the print, the dog, the Coke, and the chips.
That's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea having those prints there.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe some of that Louisiana cooking. Yeah, I love Louisiana style food, gumbo and the like. Do you? And what's the best way to ask this? With your art pieces, I mean, it sounds like a lot of it's driven by sort of how you're feeling or what you're processing at the time. As opposed to that, do you ever set out on a deliberate intent for either a political or a social message that you want to say through your art?
I haven't had it deliberately like that, but it has ended up like that. So I have a piece that's called Tears of Blue. It was one of my the first painting that I posted. And it had a really positive feedback, and it was about the death of George Floyd. So I was just painting that, and then that happened, and then the emotions that came from that sparked how that painting was finished. And it really touched a lot of people. So.
All right. I mean, we've had some guests on where there have been certain political themes or whatever have been really important to them, and it shows up in their art. But it sounds like you're more driven by how you were feeling at the time. And that's not a bad thing, because I mean, it doesn't mean you're not intellectual. It just means that some people's emotions freeze them, you're able to embrace them and use them to produce
It
something.
means you're real and you show people who you are through your art.
Yes, I try to be. I just feel like because I know what it feels like to be alone in my feelings, especially when I'm in the darkest of places, and I don't want other people to feel that way.
Yes, yes. So I pulled a few screenshots off your Instagram.
Okay?
Here's one post. Do you ever feel unmotivated? You know, you need to do things, but you just can't get yourself to do it.
Yeah, I struggle really bad with procrastination.
Procrastination?
Yeah, I do. I really do. And that's why I made it a point to try to paint every day. Because I will procrastinate until the last minute of something if I can.
Yeah. I mean, there's this game online that I play called Battle for Atlantis. It's like you try and take over the world. And it's amazing when I have important things to do, just how fun and how that game calls me.
Yeah.
I don't need to fill out the paperwork of things that
It
are
can
important.
wait.
It can wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to take over the world. Yeah, that's what. Another one. I need your help. I just got a new iPad and I'm playing around with Procreate.
Yes.
Did you get a new iPad and you're playing around with Procreate?
Yep, exactly. I wanted to start doing digital pieces. That way I could take my iPad and like do art other places too. And especially for stickers, I like digital art for stickers. So I have learned a lot. I'm still not where I want to be, but Procreate is a whole other thing with like, there's like layers you have. It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about artificial intelligence, AI, and all that. Do you think that basically fancy computer programs and algorithms will ever replace the artist for creating original work?
I don't think so. I think that it's a really good tool to help, but I don't think that it would ever replace, no. I feel like people, especially these days, especially with COVID, like they want a connection with people that I don't feel like that would happen.
It always needs that human element
Yeah.
that a computer would never be able to hit.
I mean, unless you could finally program it to have emotions, but I don't see that happening.
I don't either. I would hope not.
Yeah.
I don't like that thought.
I am nice to the computer, so when they take over, if they like me,
He did say thank you when I did this for him.
Oh, that's so funny. That's funny. And then another thing I saw, I laughed. I meant to put the picture up, but you'd been talking about how you do mainly acrylic work, and then one reel came on with this screenshot that says, "Today I used markers." And it was a great facial picture with a lot of bright, happy colors.
Oh, yeah.
And so I don't know what prompted you. Was that a spontaneous thing just to try some markers and see how it went?
Yeah, my friend actually got a whole bunch of these really cool art markers. And I was like, I've never used markers ever. So let's give it a shot.
Have you tried like the pencils, the really light
The color pencils?
colored pencils? Do you use part of that for your sketching?
Yes, I do that. I for a while was exclusively sketching with colored pencils because they weren't like bleeding like charcoal pencils do. But I haven't for a while. But I do like to use colored pencils sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you did mainly charcoal, because the stuff I saw posted was mainly black-looking lines, but
Yeah.
that was probably just really early in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, when we come back, we're going to look a little bit more of your artwork.
Okay.
Welcome back to the third chair. We're here with special guest Vashti Mims, acrylic painter, local
You
artist.
are going to get in trouble with Ralph. You know you're not allowed to change the rules on that.
We had one guest that after every segment I added special to the front of the name.
Oh.
So by segment 10 I was saying our special guest. And you could see him, he was actually really enjoying it. So I got a few pictures of your artwork, but first this photo of you hanging art on your wall or gallery or someplace. Is that at home or somewhere else?
Yeah, that's at home. Like I said, I moved into a new place, so I just kind of wanted to hang my art on all the walls.
Is it a big place?
It's bigger, yeah. So the living room wall it's pretty big, and it was just empty. I was like, I can't live in an empty box.
Yeah, no.
So I put all the pieces up there, and I'm like, maybe one day this wall will be empty again because I'll sell all the pieces.
Nice. Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, or at least have prints made of them and sell lots of prints.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be good. Now this next one I found really fantastic. It was sort of a before and after. First, a portrait that you did from 2020, comparing it to some of your work from 2023.
Yeah.
What a difference! I mean, do you look at it and say, I've changed?
Oh yeah. I look at it and I still it's not the best, but I'm still proud of it because I literally just was putting stuff there. I had no knowledge on how to do painting. This is my first painting.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm doing. So the fact that I did this, I still love it. I didn't like the eyes in this, so that's why I put something over it because the eyes didn't look good. So I was like, I'll just contour it.
Talk about a temperamental painter. It's like, your eyes, they're gone. Yeah.
Yeah, you have good eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then here's an interesting one, just to contrast the detail, the style, the color mixtures, everything from 2023. Mm-hmm. And just, I see, I am no expert, but I look at those two and I say, there's someone who's improved 10,000%. I mean, it's not even, is it even the same person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was looking at these two, and I was like I hadn't even realized how much growth I had done until I put those side by side. Because I was like, the details, just everything. I just am more confident in what I'm doing, which I feel like is very clear in this last one.
But also, I mean, to me, again, as a novice, the color selections and combinations are bolder. Maybe confidence is the perfect word. It just so many different ways of looking at it that you go, wow, this person has grown exponentially.
Yeah, it's like I'm more deliberate in the choices that I'm doing, whereas before I was just doing them. Mm-hmm. But it's like now I'm cautious of what I'm doing, and I do them for a reason, which I feel like is important.
Sure. And so again, fantastic work. Those are all the photos we're going to show. I'm going to circle back because it was something I promised we'd talk about, and you have somewhat, but just the idea of your journey as being a parent, parenthood in general. What have you learned, and just tell us about that.
It's been a journey for sure. I had my daughter. I had my daughter when I was 19. Mm-hmm. And then I had my son at 21. Uh-huh. So being a young mom has its ups and downs, but I feel like it's really cool to grow together. I feel like I'm growing obviously as a person and watching my kids grow and instilling, things in them, and that creative side is really important to me. And I learned so much from them. I learned to keep my mind open, and especially when it comes to art. I feel like being playful with it and enjoying it is it's easy to do with kids because that's what they're doing when they create. They're just having fun.
Yeah, you know, it reminds me of that joke of the art teacher talking with their student and asking them, well, what are you doing? And the person saying, I'm drawing God. And the art teacher responds, nobody knows what God looks like. And the kid responding, you will in a minute. You know, just that open, that purity of thought and willing to apply it so far out of the box that sometimes I think gets beaten out of us a bit as adults.
Yeah.
You know,
We can learn to release and get the mind of a child again, and not. I mean, children they love everybody that's around them, and you just got to be in their life.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and that, you know, because parents are expected to know a lot more, and but you still can learn a lot from your kids and have a good time while you do it.
And that's why too, when like I'm teaching my daughter art stuff, and she's like, "Well, this is how I'm doing it," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay. If it's working for you, then who am I to say no? You have to do it this way." It's like, no, she can do it the way she wants if she's creating the way she wants to do it.
Yeah, I think there can be a balance sometimes, you know, where we say things like, okay, here's one way of doing it. You know, think about it, look at it. If you want to do it, that's fine. You know, particularly when it comes to saving money. You know, not spending everything on candy. You know, here's one way of doing it, honey.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but kids can also test us.
Oh, yeah, they're so good at that.
Yeah, you know, what amazes me is their ability to find your particular hot button. You know, and it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
But they still manage to home right in on yours, you know. Yeah, you're gonna be a hypocrite today, Peter. Let me push this button. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, you said that I need to learn to be calm. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Yep.
And so, do you see art camp or art lessons for them?
I think it would be really cool to explore that. Yes, they have showed interest in other things. Like, my daughter does like to draw with me and stuff, but she likes to do gymnastics, so she's in gymnastics. And I think my son would thrive from doing some type of sport or something. And they both love to sing too. So
They
maybe
like to sing?
a kids choir or something. I feel like would be
Nice,
perfect
nice.
for them.
Are you a singer as well?
I do sing, yeah.
You do sing?
Not like publicly anymore, but when I was like younger, we grew up in the church, so I was in the kids choir, even in the adult choir when I was like 10. I was in the adult choir. So I feel like putting them in something would be really fun.
Yeah. Do you play any musical instruments?
I can play the piano a little bit,
The piano?
yeah, but that's it. I always wanted to learn how to play the guitar though. Something about that's just so cool.
Yeah, it's one of my dreams, playing lead guitar in a rock band.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Like the bass for me, the bass guitar.
Oh, the bass.
Love it.
Boom,
Yes,
boom, boom.
it's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, that's yeah, you know, and we're not too old. I mean, I'm a little older than you, but we're never too old to learn and pick something up like that. I've been telling my wife for years I want to pick up guitar again. She keeps saying, "Do it," and I've made
I haven't
excuses.
done it.
Yeah,
Do it.
do it,
Do
just
it.
do it. Yeah, the boy. That's
Go back to Waterboy. You can do it.
Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up tonight's show. And again, we're going to have you share how people can contact you for either commission pieces or to order your products, your merchandise, that whole line of Queen Vashti shirts. And we'll talk about that when we come right back. Hi, I'm Peter from Pikes Peak Recovery Coaching, and as you know, I do help people with drug and alcohol recovery issues. I love to help people get better, but I also offer a variety of other services, including regular life coaching services. I've helped several people write and finish a book. I've helped a doctor that was in medical school graduate and then get into a residency. And I also actually have quite a background in mathematics, and I do some math tutoring for the GED as well as the ASVAB for those that are thinking about a career in the military. So my contact information is on the screen. Please send me an email or a text, and we can talk about some of these services and how I can help. That's Peter Grigg at Pikes Peak Recovery Coaching. Welcome back to the third chair. I'm Peter. We're here with Vashti Mims.
And we just went off the rails completely, and this wasn't even our off the rails episode.
Yeah, it was off the rails. Yeah, we were doing our warm-up exercises for singing. La, 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 la,
This is what happens after 10 segments with Peter in the studio. We're ready, Peter.
Waiting.
I have to get
Yeah,
ready. Oh, are you catching these bloopers?
Oh, yeah.
Figaro. Oh, you want me to slate?
Yep.
Vashti segment.
Hi, maybe?
Vashti.
Maybe.
Vashti segment. She's been awesome. Yeah. You know, I have my issues, but if you ever had to spend 6 hours with me at the airport, it would be a lot of fun.
I bet.
So, besides an artist, you're an inspiring entrepreneur. And so, if you could let people know what's the process for approaching you to talk about a commission piece, or also how to obtain some of your merchandise that's for sale.
Okay, so for commissions, you can message me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. So Instagram is a good one, or email. We'll go over the price, your price point, and kind of an idea of what you're looking for. And then I'll give you some examples of what I think I can do for your price, and we'll go from there.
Nice. You know, it still blows my mind that people use Instagram so much for business.
Yeah.
It just is so weird. I mean, you know, I'm still the generation, you'd phone people, you might actually mail them a letter or a contract, you send an email, you know, and beyond that.
But any business now, you look even Walmart, all the big ones, they have their Instagram account and you can't message them.
Yeah, it's faster. So I know, like, immediately and can handle it immediately. There's no waiting process, which I feel like people's attention spans are very limited. So, like, if they're inspired for something, they want it instantly, like instant gratification. So I feel like if I'm available for them instantly, then I'm more, it's more like a possibility that they'll get it.
So, I mean, I'm really curious. So do you get, like, a lot of messages on your Instagram?
I don't. By no means, I don't. But I feel like I've gotten the most business on my Instagram, for sure.
Sure. I've always wondered that, you know, if you see people with you know, like 40,000 followers, you know, do they get 300 messages on their Instagram and they're going through them as fast as they can? I mean, like the way I'm deleting emails that are junk.
Yeah.
You know?
See, I'm sure some people is like that. I mean, I do get a lot of spam accounts that are sending me random things, or like asking for sponsorships that are like very spammy. But
We get ones that are not related to anything we do as a show.
yeah, me neither. I'm like, how did you find me?
Think?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Insane.
sometimes there's scantily clad women that
Mainly.
want you to join their private account.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
I'm like, how did you find me? Out of all the people.
yeah, just randomly. You know, I don't know. Yeah, it's so crazy. And then you have an Etsy account.
And then yes, I have my Etsy shop. I just opened that recently, a couple weeks ago. I'm still adding stuff on there, but I have prints and stickers, and I have pins as well. If you like any of those, you can check that out as well.
And then, eventually full force with t-shirts, hoodies, Queen
Yeah,
Vashti, hoodies.
that would be amazing. I thought about that too, but my main thing is I want to start doing tumblers because I feel like
Tumblers.
a
You
good
mean
cup.
like a beer stein kind of thing? Or
No, for like
a
for
cup.
water.
Yeah, or like
Yeah,
coffee.
because everybody
yeah.
carries those now.
Everybody has one, right? And I was like, that'd be so cool to put my art on those. So that's my
yeah, that
next
would
venture.
be. Or what about a board game? You ever thought about,
See, I've seen puzzles lately of prints, and they've made them into puzzles, and I'm like, that's so cool. I love that idea.
I think there are companies that you can choose the back, a custom back for a deck of cards as well.
Really?
So you could like put your favorite print and have an entire deck of cards that people can play with, with a print on it. That might be kind of cool.
That is, excuse me, that is cool. I like that.
Do you remember the game, Doug, where they used to bid on? They'd have pictures of the classic paintings, and you'd bid on it. It was a board game.
I must have missed that one.
I forget what it was called, but it was like it was called auction or something. But it was.
It was a Canadian game, I think.
No, it was big in the U.S. Big in the U.S. But
That's
but
really
yeah.
cool. I like that.
Well, that's great advice. Our producer will have the contact information on the screen, and I've noticed that I get to your Etsy the easiest way is I just go to your Instagram and then hit the link.
Yep, it's linked right there.
Yeah, and
All the hard work is taken out.
all the hard work's taken out. That's
There's
the way
no
I like
searching,
it.
it's just click.
Well, please like, subscribe, share. Hit the bell notification icon so you know when we upload another episode. And of course, a special thanks to Vashti Mims for being our guest this week. You've been delightful to talk to, and good night from the third chair.